here's the final, and here's the base. This was a kind of a bright ambient base layer. Started with the base, and then I'm going to add a mid layer here. So here's my mid layer, and I'm going to paint in the bottom. So there's without it, here's with it, just kind of shaping that light again, almost like making a vignette with my medium layer. Now I have another layer that's blended. I'm going to use the Raya Pro plugin that I have and blend in the mids. So again, here's without it, now it's blended in. Here's a dark layer, blend it in again with Raya Pro, adding in some darks to the whole image. And then this was a flash layer. So I'll show you the whole flash layer here. This part that you see kind of blended here, the part that's not in red is what's blended. So essentially what I did here was bring in detail from the table. Again, I knew that was important to the client. So I brought in detail there just on the table. See how it's very muddy here? You don't get any detail on the wood grain. And now with that flash layer, we have it. Another flash layer here, chair backs. So very, very subtle. If you look right here on the fronts of these 4 chairs behind the table, without and with, just adding a little bit of brightness back to those chairs. And then I felt like outside of these windows was a little too bright. So I added in some darkness to the top up there. And then I've got my general, what I call fixes layer. So turn this on and you can see like these little rings around the palm trees. My client on site told me he didn't like that. From conversations with my client, I knew that these kind of weird string lights at the top weren't important to them. And then I always remove kind of like can lights and little bubble lights and stuff just because I feel like it's very distracting to your eye. And then curved adjustment layer to give it all a pop. So there is this whole image.